You guys, it's Cece. Welcome back to my channel. Yay! It's fall! I'm so super excited. This is like my favorite season, like legit. I have been waiting on fall to come. Even though it's freaking 91 degrees outside in Jacksonville right now, I'm coming through with the fall tutorials, okay? Like, I am excited about fall. It's about to be the holidays and you get to wear like neutrals and like warm tones, and I'm just so super excited about fall time. So this is going to be my first fall tutorial and I'm so super excited. So I'm going to be doing a tutorial on this look right here, as you can see. I did use I'm using a lot of new products, but I was so excited to use the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. This palette I have been eyeing forever and I finally got my hands on it and I love the way that it turned out. So if you guys want to see how to get this look right here and want to see all of the new products that I'm going to be using in this tutorial and know what I think about the products, then just keep on. Let's go ahead and get started. So I did already do my skincare, and I will link my skincare video below, my skincare routine rather, if you guys want specifics on what I use to prep my skin for makeup. And I did use this moisturizer here. This is the Garnier Clearly Brighter. So I put that on earlier this morning and just kind of let that sit. So I'm going to go ahead and use this Body Shop lip butter, and this is the mango one. And I just like to put this on as I'm starting my makeup to make sure that my lips are nice and moisturized, because the lipstick that I'm going to be using today is a matte. So I definitely want to make sure that my lips are nice and moisturized for that. So let's go ahead and get into all these new products that I'm going to be using. So you guys know I always start out with primer and then I'm going to go in and do my brows. So I am going to start with this new Wet n Wild Cover All primer. And this primer is supposed to refine pores, fill fine lines, brightens complexion, even skin tone. So you know I am oily. So I'm just going to put this kind of like all over, and then I'm going to go in with a mattifying primer for the oil. I actually have used that before and it actually wears pretty good throughout the day, so I actually like it so far. So as far as my mattifying primer, I'm trying a brand new one out that I actually just got today. This is the Boscia No Pores No Shine T-Zone Treatment, and I actually got this at Marshall's for $9.99. So I'm super excited that I was actually able to get a good size. This is the size. So this is a 1 fluid ounce size. So this is pretty much full size for 10 bucks. I was like, yes, girl. So I'm going to pump some of this out. It takes so long when you first get started. Pumping forever. Trying to get it. There we go. So this is what it looks like. So I'm just going to do one pump to start off. And I'm going to apply that to my T-zone and like where my smile lines are, because I definitely get oil there. And I'm going to do one more pump and put some on my cheek area, because I definitely get oily there. Okay, so I will let you guys know how that works for me throughout the day. So next, I'm going to go in and do my brows. You guys have seen me do this 1,000 times, so I'm not going to spend like a lot of time on this, but I am going to be using my MAC brow pencil and Strut. I just go and outline my brows with that, and then I go and fill in the top part with this Jordana Fabubrow in medium brown, and then I carve out with concealer. So I'm going to do that off camera and I'll be right back. So I did go in and fill in my brows, and I'm actually going to be using a new product to set my brows. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills clear brow gel. I actually got this in my Sephora play that I just uploaded, and I love this brow gel. So what I like to do is just kind of brush my hairs upward because I have very thin brows, and then I just kind of rub the brow gel through. And what this does is it sets it in place so that I don't end up sweating out my brows, and it just helps them to stay put all throughout the day. Alright, so brows are done. So go ahead and start on my eyes first. So I don't have like a new eyeshadow primer or anything. Just gonna use the same one I've been using. This is the Sheer Magic eyeshadow primer that came in one of my Disney Villans collections, and I actually do really like this primer. So I'm just gonna prime my eyes with that. And then I'm going to set it with a powder. And I actually have a brand new powder highlight contour palette that I'm going to be using today. This is the NYX highlight and contour palette. So I think I'm going to grab this banana kind of shade here, and this is called Cream. And I'm just going to set my eyeshadow primer with that. So I'm just going to apply this all over. Now that that's done, we're going to start on the eyeshadow. So I am living for the colors in this palette for fall. Like, seriously, you guys, I think this is going to be my go-to palette from the fall. This is the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. This has been out for like a really long time, but I just got it, and seriously, do you see those colors? Like, ooh, girl. So it looks like this whole palette is pretty much like shimmery-ish kind of shades. So I'm actually going to use the transition color from my Too Faced Semi Sweet, and then I'm going to go in with those kind of shimmery shades. I'm going to use this BH Cosmetics 121 brush here, and I'm actually going to grab two shades out this palette. I'm going to start with this shade here called Nougat, which is just like a really nice kind of flesh tone color. And then I'm going to go back into the palette, and I am going to grab this shade here called Mousse. And that's going to be our transition shade. I'm going to go ahead and highlight the brow bone area. So I'm actually going to do a mixture of these two top shades here. So I'm going to grab this Urban Decay. It's just a brush that came in one of the Naked palettes. And I'm actually just going to mix those two shades together. And we're going to apply that as our brow bone highlight. So for the lid color, I have been dying to try this shade here. This is just, let me just swatch it so you guys can see. This is like the most beautiful brown, olive green, kind of duochrome shade, and I'm just like, ugh, I need that in my life. So I know we probably don't need to spray it with anything, but you guys know I'm extra like that, so I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set. I'm gonna spray about 3 sprays on the same Urban Decay brush from earlier, and I'm gonna apply this definer shade all over my lid. This reminds me so much of the blue brown pigment from MAC. Like, I love this color. On my other eye. Right now there is a lot of fallout, which I don't mind. That's the reason that I do my eyes first, but yeah. So if that's something that is a deal breaker for you, then yeah. Because I'm like patting this color on and you can see like there's a lot of fallout with this. So I feel like I definitely need to deepen up the crease area. So I think I'm going to go in with just a little bit of Truffled from the Semi-Sweet palette. Then I'm going to go back with that same BH Cosmetics brush that we used earlier. And this is the 121. I'm wiping it off with a paper towel. And I'm just going to go in and just blend all of the shades just to make sure that there's no like harsh lines or anything. Like in the blending, some of this shade came off. So I'm going to go back into that definer shade in the palette and just add a little bit more because it looks like some of it got lost with the blending. Okay, so I need to get a makeup wipe, seriously. So I'm just going to be using my little Dollar Tree makeup wipes that I love. And I'm just going to wipe away all the fallout because there's a lot of fallout with this palette, like a lot. So now we're going to move on to the face and then we'll come back to the eyes. So this isn't like a new foundation because I know you guys have seen this foundation, but I did just repurchase it, so technically it's new. And so this is the Milani Conceal Plus Perfect 2-in-1 foundation. I'm in the shade 04 Medium Beige. So I'm going to take 2 pumps on my hand, and I'm actually going to be using the Ulta brand kind of beauty blender makeup sponge. I don't know if I used this in a tutorial before, so this may be new, but this is new to me, and I really have been enjoying using those makeup sponges. So I'm just going to take a Studio, I think this is a Studio 55 or 35 foundation, like flat foundation brush, and I'm just going to kind of paint the foundation on, and then we're going to blend it out with the Beauty Blender. I did end up going back in and using another pump. So I used about 3 pumps of the foundation. With this foundation, it has concealer in it. So they say you don't need to apply concealer, but I mean, I'm extra, so I do. So I'm going to go in with the Master Conceal concealer in the shade Light Medium. I used this in my last tutorial. I don't have like another concealer that I found recently that I like better than this one, so I'm just going to be using that. So I'm going to take the other side of that foundation brush and I'm just going to kind of dab it on my under eye area, a little bit in the inner part of my eye, down my nose, Cupid's bow, and chin, and I'm going to blend that all out with my Beauty Blender. Okay, so I'm actually going to go back into my NYX highlight and contour palette, and I think I'm actually going to try and mix these two shades here for my under eye highlight. So those two shades are Cream and Nectar. So I'm going to be taking this Lancome, I think this is actually a blush brush, and I'm just going to mix those two shades together and apply it. Underneath my eye area. Not seeing a huge difference, honestly, so I don't know what I think about these powders yet. I think I'm going to just go in with this banana powder and just try that, because I'm really not getting that brightening effect that I like. I think I'm just going to use that banana powder and just set all of the places that I applied concealer. Okay, so now we're going to bronze and contour with the bottom shades here. So I swatched the shades here in order, so I think these middle two shades are going to be the best for like bronzing for me. So I'm going to take this e.l.f. complexion brush, and I'm going to mix these two shades here. These are called Sculpt and Toffee. So I feel like it just gives you just a nice little flush of color. Looks really nice so far. Like not too much, not too like orangey or anything, but you can definitely tell a difference. So liking this. Okay, so nice. I like that. I'm gonna take this BH Cosmetics just kind of like angled shader brush, and I think I'm gonna use this darkest shade in the palette, and this is called Hollow. I'm just gonna take a little bit of it though because it looks really, really pigmented, and I'm going to contour. Yeah. It's really, really pigmented. Okay, I actually really like this palette. I'm digging it. So I'm going to take that same contour shade, go down my nose, do a little contour action on my nose, blend it out. Okay, so all the contouring is done. So now I'm going to go in and do highlight. I'm going to use the highlight shade at the palette. This is called Ice Queen. So I'm going to go back with that Lancome blush brush, just turn it over. Oh my god. Do you see that? Like, girl. Ooh. New highlight shade for the fall. Yes, ma'am. Oh my god, that is pigmented. And I only did I tapped my brush like one freaking time. Ooh, yes, girl. That right there. Whew. Yes, ma'am. Okay, and then I like to go back in with my beauty blender and just kind of blend it just to make sure it doesn't look like choppy or anything, but you can still see the highlight, which you definitely, I mean, girl, blind you with my highlight, like, yes. So for blush, I'm going to be using this blush right here. This is a MAC blush called Margin, and I'm going to apply it with this e.l.f. blush brush. This right here is like my favorite for the fall because, as you can see, it just gives a nice kind of like luminous flush of color to the cheeks. So pretty. So it's not like too much, but it's not like overpowering either. It's just really, really pretty. So that's definitely my go-to for the fall. So face is pretty much done, so we're gonna go back up to the eyes, and I'm actually going to apply a liner. I'm going to be using a new liner today. This is the Kat Von D tattoo liner in the shade Trooper. I just got this in my Sephora Play, and can you say obsessed? Like, I love this liner. Alright, so that is the liner. As you can see, it goes on really just nice and smooth, and it just looks really, really bomb. I'm going to be using a new mascara and some new lash products as well. So I wanted to show you guys that. The first thing that I always like to do is to use a lash curler. This is just one that I got from CVS. I think this is like Beauty 35 or something like that. So I just start off with curling my lashes first. Beauty 360, I'm sorry. This is the Beauty 360 lash curler. Alright, so lashes are curled. I'm going to go in with a lash primer, and this is the Photo Focus Lash Primer by Wet n Wild. So I'm going to apply one coat of this on my top and bottom lashes. I'm not going to do lashes today because I want you guys to see like how this lash primer actually does with the mascara. So the mascara that I'm going to use, I use two different mascaras, but the one I'm going to use for my top lashes is by City Color. This is the 3 times volume and length extreme bold mascara. I got this like in an Ipsy bag, I think, like a long time ago, and I've like been looking for this like legit forever. So I got this from Marshall's today. Yes, girl. $2 freaking $49. I was like, yes. So I'm going to use this on my lashes. Okay, and for my bottom lashes, I'm going to be using, this isn't a new one, but this is the Voluminous Butterfly Sculpt, and this is a L'Oreal mascara. I really do like this for bottom lashes. I don't feel like it does a super great job on my top, but my bottom, I mean, you can definitely see the difference. So I'm going to go ahead and set my face with my favorite setting spray, you know, ride or die for my NYX matte finish. So I'm going to set my face with that, and then we're going to do lipstick. Alright, so, oh, I almost forgot. We need to do eyeliner. So I'm just going to apply, this is the L'Oreal Voluminous Smoldering. So I'm just going to apply a quick layer. To my bottom line. Alright, now we're going to go in with lips. So the first thing that I'm going to use is a lip liner. This is by Lord & Berry, and this is, it just says nude. So I'm just going to line my lips with this. And for our liquid lipstick today, I'm going to use this one by Ofra. I got this in my Beautycon box, and it's the Long Lasting Liquid Lipstick in the shade Mocha. So I'm just going to fill in the areas that there's no lip liner, and then I'm just going to rub my lips together. And this actually smells like chocolate. It smells so good. And that is the completed look, you guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and definitely shoot me some feedback below about fall looks, tutorials that you want to see for the fall. If it's a particular look that you're interested in, definitely leave me a comment below and let me know, and I will do my best to get that up for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you very soon in the next video. Bye guys.